Are Liverpool genuinely the title favourites going forward? Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to another video. Yes, today's video is going to centre around Liverpool's title charge. The title contenders known as Liverpool are going into the final international break of the year. 5 points clear of their nearest rivals Manchester City and at least 9 points clear of everybody else. It's been a phenomenal start by Arne Slot as the new Liverpool manager. It's been a brilliant start to the season by the Reds. And after enduring 9 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss from their opening 11 games. Of course, nothing is ever decided in November. Tottenham, you'll remember this time last year, were also top of the league and flying high before it all came crashing down a little bit and they dropped off pretty significantly. Will the same fate happen to Liverpool, or do they have the experience, the nerve and the quality to continue their fine form and continue to put distance between themselves and everybody else? That is what we're going to be talking about a little bit today. We're going to be talking about whether or not they are the title favourites going forward and everything else in between. But before we get into all of that, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both things are always and forever greatly appreciated. Get involved in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts, your comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure will make for great interesting reading down below. So please do get involved down there. Otherwise, let's get on with the video. Let's talk Liverpool, the title challenge, their upcoming fixtures, the season so far, and everything else in between. And what I would say is a bit of like a half-term report, if you like, on the Reds as the international break is... I know we're only like 2 days into it, but it seriously feels like it's dragging already. Liverpool's start to the season has been nothing short of brilliant. It's been nothing short of incredible, and I have been pleasantly surprised with how well Liverpool have done with not just Arne Slot as the new manager, but also with the summer transfer window that we've endured. For those of you who know, I'm of course a big Liverpool fan. I absolutely adore and love this club so much. But even I wasn't expecting Liverpool to have the start to the season that we have done. And yes, we have been helped out a little bit along the way with obviously Arsenal running into a bit of bad form, Manchester City running into a patch of bad form as well, in which they are enduring 4 defeats in a row in all competitions. But Liverpool have been nothing short of brilliant. Let's take nothing away from the Reds, and especially Arne Slot, who has been the major contributor to that. Liverpool didn't enjoy the best transfer window. We only brought in 2 players, and even technically 1 player, because 1 won't be joining us till next season. We brought in Federico Chiesa for, of course, a minimum of 10 million, and he's barely played even like 5 minutes of Premier League football. He's been, surprise, surprise, injured for a large part of this season. So Arne Slot has had to work with the squad that he inherited when he walked into the job from Jurgen Klopp last season, and he has done exceptionally well. I can't praise this guy highly enough. He, as a manager, has been the brains behind the operation, and he has been exceptional to a lot of Liverpool's victories this season. His style of play is not too dissimilar from Jurgen Klopp, and I think he is taking elements of what the guys at the club already know, how they've been playing over the years, and he's saying, stick with that when you need to, but try and implement some more of, you know, being on the ball more, what he likes to do, you know, kind of the kind of pressing style that he uses, the kind of defensive structure that of course he's implementing. There are just little elements of what Arne Slot wants to do that he's implementing on this team slowly but surely. And I'm sure that with another transfer window, 2 or 3 transfer windows in which to get in his players, there'll be more evidence of his style of play being more and more implemented. For now, he's sort of sticking with Jurgen Klopp's system a little bit because it's what is tried and tested and what the players already know. But there are slight and small elements of the way that he wants to play being implemented on this team too, which I think has been a brilliant adaptation and a brilliant way of slowly bleeding in his message into that Liverpool dressing room for when they get out onto the pitch. I think it's been a brilliant watch. I think that's been excellent to watch from his point of view. I also think his man management's been brilliant. We are starting to see some excellent performances from certain players that the jury was sort of out on a little bit. I have noticed the improvement in Luis Diaz. Cody Gakpo's really come good so far this season, and it's absolutely incredible to think that Liverpool now have two left wingers that are jostling for position, and you can put one in and take one out, and there's not really that much difference. And if one's not really necessarily firing on all cylinders that you started, you can just replace them with the other. That's been brilliant to watch. Even Darwin Núñez has been has improved in my personal opinion. Not just in terms of goal scoring and stuff. That still remains a little bit of an inconsistency. And I know he hasn't really necessarily played a whole lot this season. He has played a few games in Jota's absence, of course. But even on the cameos and the things that he has done, his work rate has been exceptional. And I think him off the ball is becoming a lot better. He still needs to learn what the offside rule is. He still needs to find some consistency in front of goal. I understand that, but I think there has been definite improvement in terms of this man's work rate. There has been obviously the improvement, I think, of even Kostas Tsimikas whenever he's made cameo appearances. I think he's been great. I think Ibrahim Konate has been imperious, and he has been absolutely exceptional for Liverpool. Virgil van Dijk is obviously Virgil van Dijk. Let's not also forget Keeman Kelleher, deputising for the absent and injured Alisson Becker. He continues to prove why he is the best second choice goalkeeper, arguably in the Premier League. But not only that as well, but I'm so glad this guy stayed, but at the same time I do feel sorry for him, because I do feel like as soon as Alisson's back, he's going to be back on the bench. And I think there is a case for him to be made that maybe he should be starting, at least for a few games, until Alisson gets back to full fitness and they're really happy with where Alisson's at. I know Alisson is, in my opinion, the best goalkeeper in the world, but I don't know. Do you just drop your best goalkeeper? Do you drop a goalkeeper that's been performing exceptionally well in the absence of your best goalkeeper just straight away, or do you just slowly integrate them back into the team? That's obviously a headache for Arne Slot to deal with. And of course, the major success story, other than, Trent defensively being more and more, getting more and more better each and every single week. Alexis McAllister still going strong. Mohamed Salah is still the king, still phenomenal, and deserves anything and everything that he wants. The major success story, of course, has been Ryan Gravenberch, who has been absolutely outstanding in a new role, a new position. And who would have thought going into the season that Ryan Gravenberch, a guy that came into Liverpool last season, had a couple of decent games to kick off his Liverpool career, and then sort of dropped off a little bit, would be one of the more important roles of the team, would be one of the more important cogs in the Arne Slot machine. Absolutely incredible to think that. No one was probably thinking that going into this season. And then all of a sudden, Ryan Gravenberch being the DM for this role, I still don't necessarily think it's perfection. I still think it's a little bit of square peg and a little bit of round hole, but those edges are rounding off pretty nicely with each and every single passing game. So it is nice to see this team gel together. It is nice to see that this side are on the same page, and it's nice to see that this side are getting new ideas breathed into them, because as phenomenal and as exceptional as what Jurgen Klopp was, over the past couple of years or so, you probably did get the sense that maybe Klopp's message was becoming a little bit stale for certain people in that team. Like, nothing against Klopp whatsoever, but of course last season a lot of the players ran out of energy because they used up a lot of that energy during the mid part of the season, where injuries were stretching the team thin. They also went really, really hard in all competitions. They ran out of steam towards the end of the season. Jurgen Klopp ran out of energy. Both of those things combined led to a collapse. This season, you're seeing so far new energy being breathed into this new team. There's more structure. There's more control. It's a lot more measured. It's like controlled chaos at times. It is very, very good to see. It is very fun to see. It is exceptional to see, and I love every second of what I'm seeing right now. The performances aren't necessarily perfect, but I wasn't expecting them to be. I was expecting certain teething problems, especially when, like I said earlier, Slot is implementing certain aspects of the way that he wants to play and trying to bleed them into the team slowly. And of course, with no signings in the summer, it's always going to be a little bit better than, obviously, when you're trying to gel new people in. But at the same time, again, staleness can creep in. So it's been great to see that hasn't been an issue so far during this season. And one thing I'll also praise Arne Slot for as well, his strive and his drive towards perfection. Each and every single week, he seems to make some sort of reference to the only one small blemish on Liverpool's record so far during this campaign. And I'm, of course, talking about that 1-0 defeat at home to Nottingham Forest. Now, of course, Forest have gone on to have a very good start to the season, but what impresses me is the fact that still irritates him. That's seemingly the one result that seemingly is playing on his mind night and day. It keeps him up at night thinking about it. And I love that he drives and strives towards perfection, and he wants that. And I just think it's incredible to watch and to see him obviously do that. Keeps talking about it week in, week out. And it just shows me that this manager is 100% committed and he wants that. So there are certain aspects, like I say, that I love of Arne Slot's game that I've seen so far this season. How far can we go? Well, look, are we the favourites towards a title challenge? Obviously, a lot of bookmakers are saying we are right now because we are 5 points clear. They're also seeing the runs of both Arsenal and Man City in recent games, and obviously with them going through a bit of a sticky patch, like, they are now calling us the favourites. Nothing is ever decided though in November. Let's not forget that. Like, teams will drop off, teams will level out. Nothing's ever decided in November. So we've just got to keep our feet on the ground a little bit. We've got to get excited, but let's not go completely overboard. Let's enjoy the ride for what it is. Let's do what we did under Jurgen Klopp and enjoy it. Let's just enjoy it for what it is. There's no... I wouldn't say there's massive pressure on us right now to go on and win the title, but you know what? My prediction at the beginning of the season was that Arsenal were going to win it. The more that I see of Arsenal this season, the more I'm starting to change my mind towards Manchester City. And then with Man City's recent run-in as well, I'm now slowly starting to think that maybe this could be an incredible season for Liverpool. Maybe with everything going in our favour so far, things will only continue to do so. The confidence will grow. The mentality will grow. And maybe, just maybe, Liverpool could be on for an exciting, interesting, and phenomenal season ahead. And you know when I will really start to believe it? Is in a few weeks' time. Because in a few weeks' time, we face Manchester City. And if we win that game, then I will say it. I will say, I believe Liverpool can win the Premier League title this season. I will say we're going. I will say we're going to win it. I will say that. If we beat Southampton, because let's face it, nothing's ever a given in the Premier League. As much as everybody wanted to say that in the opening 6 or 7 games, Liverpool haven't played anyone, but at the same time go, well, there's no easy games in the Premier League. Well, which one is it? We can't take our eyes off Southampton in preparation for Man City, because that is a banana skin waiting to happen. We already saw that earlier on in the season with, like I said earlier, Nottingham Forest. We can't take our eyes off Southampton in preparation for Man City. It's already going to be a massive week that week anyway, with obviously playing Real Madrid a few days beforehand. So it's going to be a huge week for us as soon as we're back from internationals with Southampton and then Real Madrid and then Manchester City. So that's going to be huge. We can't take our eyes off those games. But you know what? If we pass both Southampton and Man City with flying colours, 6 points out of 6, I will say it. I will say Liverpool are going to win the league this season. I genuinely will say it. But only if we get 6 points out of 6. And it's going to be a massive run in between now and the end of the year anyway. Simply for the reason that we've got some really big games coming up. We've got Southampton, like I say. We have Real Madrid. We have Manchester City. And then moving into more of December, we'll obviously have Newcastle in a midweek game. We've then got Everton at the, in a Merseyside derby away from home. So that's going to be huge as well. There's the final Champions League game of the season against Girona. There's Fulham coming up. There's the League Cup quarter-final we've got against Southampton again on the horizon. Tottenham just before Christmas. Leicester on Boxing Day. And West Ham to round off the end of the year before, of course, we face the likes of Manchester United, Nottingham Forest, who, of course, Arne Slot will want revenge on so much, even though we are going to be away from home. And then we'll obviously have the likes of Brentford, Lille in the Champions League, Ipswich again, PSV, Bournemouth, Wolves, and again, Manchester City at the end of February, of course. So, there is a lot coming up. The intensity is going to turn up a few notches. The importance of those games is going to turn up. And no matter how many points we are clear or how many points that other teams have made up on us by then, we have to go strong. We have to continue this fight. And like I say, at the beginning of the season, I said that we would be title contenders. I would say that I said that we would be in a title race. I didn't expect us to win it. But like I say, in a couple of weeks' time, if Arsenal don't come back, if Arsenal drop more points in them 2 weeks, Tottenham have also got a difficult run-in with City have got a difficult run-in with Tottenham coming up, and with obviously us afterwards. If they drop points, or if we maintain our 5-point gap going into that City game, and then of course we go on and beat City, I will state right there that we are going to win the league. And that's going to be dangerous, because normally when I say things or when I praise teams, they normally go on and lose straight away. So I'm throwing a lot on the line here. I mean, I did a video last week on Nottingham Forest praising them, and then they went and lost 3-1 to Newcastle this weekend. So I could be about to play a extremely risky game here. But yes, I am so happy with Liverpool so far on the pitch. Extremely happy with that. 5 points clear at the top of the table. Who wouldn't be happy with that? It's a surprise to me. It's a surprise to a lot of people. But yet, here we are. Off the pitch, different story. We need to get this Mohamed Salah stuff sorted. We need to get this Virgil van Dijk and Trent Alexander-Arnold contract situation sorted as well. Hopefully, there'll be more information across the international break on that. But yes, on the pitch, I have absolutely no complaints whatsoever. Performances can be improved upon, but nothing was ever going to be perfect overnight under a new management system. So I'm extremely happy. It's absolutely incredible to see Liverpool flying high as we are doing right now. And like I say, we are only a couple of wins away from me believing fully that we can go on and win this Premier League title. Those are the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of Liverpool's start to the season? What do you make of Liverpool's season so far? And what do you make of Liverpool's season to come? So, in the year of 2024 to 25 season. I'd love to know what you guys are thinking and feeling down below in that comment section down there. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way out if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things always and forever be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. And thank you all so much for your continued or even brand new support. It is very much appreciated by me. Thank you for supporting the channel. It means a great deal, and it is absolutely awesome of you. So thank you very, very, very much. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see you speak with you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you all again very, very soon.